Welcome to a post-season edition of The Recovery Room, and I'm joined by Football Operations Manager Steve Alessio, as I am early in the week on most weeks, Sess. And out of Saturday night's game, there was only one real concern. Jake Carlisle had a bit of a problem with his back.
Yeah, he had a back spasm during the game. It really restricted his movement throughout the game, and he's still a little bit restricted as of today. But that should loosen up. He's had one or two of them in the past, and he should be all right.
And the guys have been here the last few days having sort of their end-of-season reviews with the coaches and fitness staff and the like. So we've got a big list to go through, and a lot of them are just general surgery. We might start with Tom Bellchambers, who had a bit of surgery as well.
Yeah, so Tom missed the game last weekend because he had some hip surgery, just an arthroscope in there just to smooth out a bit of the bone fragments that he had in there. So he's up, he's already walking around, so yeah, not too major for Tom.
Young Joe Danaher, his first year in footy, he missed the VFL final on the weekend, and he's also gone in for some surgery.
Yeah, similar, small arthroscope in the knee, a little bit of bone fragments there, just needs to be a bit of a clean out. So yeah, minimal recovery time, 3 weeks or so.
As we go through these in numerical order, Courtney Dempsey's hamstring injury, where's that at?
Yeah, so Courtney, it's been a long-term hamstring injury. He's training well. He's well and truly into his rehab. He's already running, so he'll continue that on throughout the break. So he's ready for pre-season when that comes around.
Michael Hurley, once again plagued a bit this year with sort of on and off with injuries. What's he got going into the postseason? Yeah,
so Hurl's he's got to have ankle surgery. He's rolled out a couple of times, and so the ankle needs a bit of tightening there. So he'll go in and have that this week, and yeah, that'll probably mean he's off his feet for around 4 weeks.
Dyson Heppell, we saw miss the last game of the season. He went in for a bit of a clean-up as well.
Yeah, so surgery during the week. Dice had a crack in his foot around an old sort of growth plate issue with that. So they pinned that area. He's been hobbling around on crutches for the last week. He'll go into a moon boot for 2 or 3 weeks. So for Dice, it'll be similar. He'll be 4 to 5 weeks.
David Moyes is another one who missed that last game of the year and went in for a bit of surgery.
Yeah, so Moyes throughout the year was carrying a bit of a shoulder. That progressively got worse throughout the year, and he needs a little bit of a clean out, and that same thing, a similar recovery time, about 4 to 6 weeks.
Also out of that last game was Dustin Fletcher. How's he tracking along?
Yeah, Fletcher's going well. He was unfortunately during training did that hammy, he re-injured his hammy. So he'll have a recovery program there, but there shouldn't be any issues coming out of that injury.
Marty Gleason, we saw going for shoulder surgery, but we've seen him back in the gym in the last few days.
Yeah, Gleason's been back. He's been training really, really well. He's got some really good movement through his shoulder now after his shoulder surgery. He's really happy, and so are the doctors and physios with his recovery and how it's coming along.
Nick Kommer missed on Saturday night against Richmond, went in for a bit of fix-up on his hand.
Yeah, so during the week, Nick, who'd broken his hand the week before, went in and had his his bone plated in his hand. I've had a similar injury myself when I played, so he'll be 4 to 6, and allow the bone to heal there.
And lastly, Mark Bagley is the only other one that's gone in with a few concerns post-season.
Yeah, so Mark, similar to Joe Danaher, just some small irritation within the knee. Whether I think it's a bit of cartilage for Mark. So they'll go in there with an arthroscope and clean that out, and he'll be okay in a few weeks' time.
There's a lot of names we've gone through there. For Bombers fans, can you assure us that majority of them will be back for the start of pre-season? It's not as bad as it probably sounds.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of the surgeries, there's no real major surgeries in all that lot. It's commonplace with a lot of players now across the league. This time of year, they're having surgeries and cleanups and preparing themselves and getting their bodies right for the pre-season that's coming up. So so no issues there.
Guys have been here the last few days, as we mentioned, with their interviews. Where to for them now, and when do they sort of return to the training track?
Yeah, so once the team finishes the season, they spend the next couple of days having their exit interviews with the coaches, reviewing how their year's gone, what areas of improvement, what they need to work on in terms of when they come back for pre-season. They also have an exit medicals to make sure that their body's right, and then they're in the right place for when they come back for pre-season. So that's the first couple of days, and then this year there's some new annual leave arrangements across the industry. So most clubs who finish this week, round 23 and week 1, will come back progressively from the start of November, and that'll be the case for also the final sides, who will progressively come back right through until the start of December. So so the guys get a good break. It's really important for them to look after their bodies during this break. It's some rest and recuperation, and come back ready to have a go at a big pre-season.
Jess, thanks for a comprehensive update as usual.
No worries, Potsy. Thanks, mate.